Selling a house with pets?
How to sell a house with pets?
If you would like to know how to sell your home when you have pets at home, well then please stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Kathryn Larkin.
And I'm Tom Steck, and together we are the TomKat Team.
If you like this video, please hit the subscribe and the like button. Tom and we put out really fun and interesting and informative videos every Tuesday for TomKat Tuesday. I am a pet lover. Tom is a pet lover. This is Chaska. For most of my life, I have grown up with pets. I have had cats, I have had dogs. I have had one animal, two animals, three animals at the same time. Anyway, not everybody is a pet lover. So if you take these tips in mind, it will truly help you sell your house for more money and for a lot less hassle. You have to remember, not everybody is a pet lover. There are some people that have pet allergies. So you have to be aware of that when you're trying to sell your home. Tip number 1, you may want to talk to your vet. Now, if you have any concerns about your pet's health or safety, usually the best advice is to talk to your vet. Maybe let them know you're putting your home on the market and you just have some concerns, and then perhaps get some advice from them.
Tip number 2, what sometimes happens is a pet owner doesn't realize just exactly how much of a smell their little critters are creating in their home. This is not totally unusual, but sometimes you have no idea the way your home smells, and this is where maybe having a friend coming over and doing a little sniff test might be helpful. Don't take this personally, it's just the way it is. If you've decided you're going to go ahead and sell your home, one of the things that you know you have to do is to look around the house and fix the things that need to be fixed. Now, there are things that your pets may have done to your home that you don't really look on as things needing to be fixed, but a buyer who has never had a pet will look at them and say that has to be done. So scratches on the walls, on the paint, holes in the fence, whatever
Holes
kind of
in the yard?
Or
Big holes in the yard?
Holes everywhere.
Holes everywhere. You want to make sure that you really repair your home from any damage that the pet might do. The third tip is, I'm going to say it, poop. I did just say that. I said poop. Please clean up the poop. I cannot tell you how many times I have shown a property that the owners have said to us, or another realtor, that please be careful going out in the backyard because, oh, they just haven't cleaned up the dog poop in a while. Well, you know what? If the buyers like the inside of the house, they want to go in the backyard and they want to look around.
And they want to come in without their shoes being messed up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want them trailing the poop back in your house, but you also want them to focus on the beauty of your yard. You don't want them looking down and dodging poop. And let me tell you something, that happens quite a lot. Clean the poop. That also means if you have a cat, please regularly schedule yourself, hopefully daily, to clean out the kitty litter. You may not smell it, the buyers will smell it. So please take care of
the kitty litter.
And what, Tom? The poop.
Tip number 4 is to consider relocating your pets. You may want to have your cat or your dog in the bathroom and tell folks to not look in the bathroom. As soon as you say don't look in that room, they will keep zooming back around to want to look in that room. So the simplest thing...
Human nature, right, is going to want to look into the room that says off limits, do not come into this room, even though it's to protect the homeowner's pet.
Now, if you have mice or hamsters or snakes or whatever critters that you have and you normally keep in cages, well, that's fine. You don't have to move them around. In fact, you may end up having folks stop and look at them for a little while. But the cats and the dogs that are lovely and pleasant and warm around you turn into little beasts sometimes and hiss and snarl and growl. When you're getting ready to have your house shown, one of the things that you probably want to do is maybe take your dog for a walk, and you as well, because one of the things that sometimes puts buyers off is if they know the seller is hovering around and the cat or dog is hovering around as well. So removing yourself and removing your pet at the same time works out. If you can't take a walk, what I would suggest is perhaps putting the dog in doggy daycare or with a friend, the next door neighbor. The idea is to allow the buyer to get into the home, take their time to look around.
Now, you may think that your dog is friendly and that your dog will not growl and will not bother anyone, that your dog will not run out of the house. Believe me, in 20 years of us selling real estate, we have seen it all. But there was one time I was showing property. Now, the realtor had told me there's a dog in the house, so be aware, be careful, friendly little dog, no problem. As I was opening the door, I was so very careful, and so were my buyers. Well, that tiny little spitfire of a dog took off down the road running so fast. Luckily, my buyer, he was wonderful. He went after and grabbed that dog, and do you know he ran for like 2 blocks before he was able to pick up that dog. To this day, it haunts me thinking, what if a car would have driven by? He brought the dog in, so by the time the buyer even got into the house, he was not very happy. Yes, that's exactly. The buyer was not happy. The buyer's wife was not happy. The kids were upset because they saw this dog running out on the road. So please, even if you think you have the kind of dog that would never do that, they will.
Another time we were doing an open house in a nice 2-story house.
Beautiful home.
And the owner's cat decided to park on the stairs, and the cat was almost like a little doll sitting there. But once we started trying to go up the stairs, all of a sudden it turned into the cat from hell and hissed and snarled and everything.
That cat would not let me up the stairs. It would not. And I'm a cat lover. Cats love me. This cat did not let me go anywhere near her house. Now, mind you, we never saw or showed the upstairs, but we had to close everything up. Luckily, Tom was brave enough to run up by the side of that cat. He had his pants on. The cat didn't scratch him, but boy, she was not a happy cat at all. She was a good
guard cat, but that was about it.
Couldn't show the second floor. Could not show the second floor. Hello?
As a seller, you have just exactly one opportunity to make a good impression on your buyer. And having an animal around that ends up potentially being a distraction is not going to work for you. So we want to have the best luck for you in terms of selling your property, and this is one of the areas where some of the tips we've mentioned can help.
You need to remember that buyers take the condition of your home into consideration. So if, like we talked about, the smell, the damage, the poop causes them issues, then these buyers are not going to make an offer on your home, or if they are going to make an offer on your home, it's going to be a lot less than they normally would have. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button as well as the like button, and we would love some feedback if you have any more tips with pets, or if there's anything else you would like to hear, please let us know. You may want to take a look at this upcoming video because Tom is giving some great advice and tips for when you put your house up for sale. I'm Kathryn Larkin,
And I'm Tom Steck.
and together we are the
TomKat
TomKat
Team.
And please remember, Tom and I, we sell
Paradise
paradise
in
in
Pinellas.
Pinellas.